It was just after 9:30 p.m. when the streetwalkers in Times Square were suddenly doused in darkness, when thousands of passengers on graffiti-scarred trains became stuck, often in tunnels.
There was absolutely no panic, and you'd never know that there was any kind of an emergency.
With her own power generation facility, the Statue of Liberty remained lit. But the tired, the poor, the huddled masses she beckoned soon became restless, agitated, and violent.
The situation here in Brownsville was described as anarchy, war, rioting.
It was terrible. I could see from my window there, everybody looting, taking furniture, everything.
You will only be able to give out 50 doses today. That's our Forsythia 11. That's...
Hey, excuse me, there's a line here. Excuse me.
Anything today because there's no power right now.
No power. Nothing in here works.
There's no AC. Toilet doesn't work.
Oh no.
The federal government is now overseeing the nation's food, gas, and water supplies, with priority given to the emergency services and armed forces. As angry scenes continue this morning, FEMA has assured the public that food and water is being distributed to the general population as quickly as possible. Police chiefs have appealed to the public to remain calm, expressing concerns over the alleged number of civilians who are now armed.
Last night I heard some pretty interesting things. There's people out there in a bad situation who aren't prepared, and they're, bad people do bad things.
Shalom. First of all, I started by giving all great honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakadash. Double honor to teachers, elders, and the boss of great millstone, likewise brothers for the truth. Faithfully fearlessly feeding the sheep with your brothers and sisters tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson's title, From Noah to Us, the warnings continues. Now, you saw an opening clip there, and to many people, they have forgotten, that things like this can take place in a great Babylon, America, okay? What you just watched was not random. These are warnings showing us how quickly the life people call normal can change. Nevertheless, the people continue eating, drinking, celebrating, buying, selling, and planning for tomorrow. They believe everything will continue as it always has. Now, what did the Bible teach us? What Yahweh told us? That this is the same spirit existed immediately before the flood. Okay, and that's what you see the working title is From Noah to Us, because Noah was warning the people of something that they had never seen before. In fact, let's go into the scripture. This is the book of Matthew 24, starting verse 34, reads, Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So Yahushua does not know when the Most High is going to put an end to all things that's current on the earth. Esau's wickedness, and when he's going to send the Mashiach to take down great Babylon, America, and subdue all these other tribes on this earth and set up the heavenly kingdom. So only the Most High knows. But as the days of Noah, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. And we've seen that taking place right now. What are people doing? Marrying, eating, drinking. The people are in disbelief of what we're preaching about. A great famine come to great Babylon, America. There's going to be a lot of death and destruction. People are going to turn on each other. There's going to be a shortage of food. Okay? You can have men that are going to be grabbed at their house to be sent overseas to die in World War III. That there is going to be an RFID microchip mandatory law that you will have to take and have implanted into your body in order to eat, buy, sell, do anything. Just live in this society. So to understand how unbelievable Noah's warning may have sounded to that generation, we have to look at how the earth was originally watered. Okay, we can go into the book of Genesis 2 and start verse 3. It reads, "And power blessed the seventh day and sanctified." Power is who we call God, because that in it he had rested from all his work, which power created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord, Yahweh made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord, Yahweh had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. So see, they had never seen rain. The same way, like, I mean, I go in my refrigerator, there's food there. I go to the grocery store, there's food there. I've never seen famine in my life. Okay? And I'm spiritually aware that there's going to be one coming to Great Babylon, America. But how much more so you people out there who don't believe? You've never experienced famine before. You've never seen it. A lot of you people have never even been hungry more than 20 minutes in your entire life. You don't know about fasting. We fast in this ministry. Okay? So you can see here that Noah sounded unrealistic the same way we sound unrealistic. Okay? Let's go into Genesis 7 and start where 17 reads. Because what happened after Noah built the ark, okay? And it was estimated that it took between 50 to 100 years for Noah to build the ark. During that entire time, he was preaching. So he's a very patient man, okay? He built the ark with his sons, you know, and how many people were saved on the ark? A total of 8. Noah and his wife, his sons and their wives, 8. And then the animals, 2 of each, male and female, okay? So we know about that. Now, when the flood did come, it says, "And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the water prevail, and the mountains were covered." So I looked this up in Google, what 15 cubits is, and this is somewhere around between. It said that it was about roughly 22 feet above the highest mountain. Okay, so enough so that the keel of the ark wouldn't, you know, hit any mountain and stuff like that to cause it to, you know, leak or anything like that. Okay, so it was very strategic how the Lord, Yahweh Shai, caused this flood to come upon the earth. And it says, "And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of the cattle and of the beasts and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man." So you can see here, he basically destroyed what he created that was not inside the ark to be saved. Hence, we in that same situation right now. What we are building is an ark. Okay, when we preach to you and we tell you what is going to happen, and if you're not covered by Yahweh Shai, you're going to die here. And that includes us. That's why we always call ourselves the hopefully elect. Because if we're not selected, we're going to die. Okay? It says, "All in whose nostrils was the breath of life of all that was in the dry land died, and every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark, and the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days." So it was that much water. Okay, so it tells you that Noah, okay, who the Lord found favor in, you know, he was a good man, okay, compared to all the other evil people on this earth. Okay, him and his household were saved. Hence, that's what's going to happen during this time, is the prophets or the brethren who are preaching this gospel, who are staying in the commandments of Yahweh Shai, them and their household is going to be saved. That's how it's going to be. So we don't just go there only for us. We go there to save our household. Whether you have a wife, a kid, whatever the case is like that, we put our body, okay, as a living sacrifice to go out in the highway in the Bible and to do this work, despite the fact that what comes with our motives is just simply unbelievable to you proud Babylonians here in Great Babylon, America. Okay, let's go into the book of Isaiah 32 and start with verse 9, because this actually deals with everybody, even though it's meant to, the women of Jerusalem, okay, or basically the Hebrew Israelite woman, okay. But when you look at it, you saw in that opening clip, everybody is experienced hell when you had the blackout, and part of that footage was a recreation, an imagination of what happens or what takes place when there's a blackout, food spoil, rioting and so forth, etc. We'll go into the scripture that actually demonstrates that or describes that. It reads, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant field, for the fruitful vine." Which is speaking about what? Okay, it's a direct warning to those people out there who are at ease and careless. Okay, they feel secure because food, entertainment, and comfort is still available. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashai warned, the vintage will fail and the gathering will not come. Okay, you have a shortage of wheat, a shortage of beef. Okay, and you have gas and fuel prices up. People's spirits are down. Okay, people are starting to feel a little bit not so hopeful. Okay, and it's going to increase, just like how you saw when I read in Genesis, okay, which talked about the flood. What it said, it kept talking about the flood increase. Okay, it went over the people, then it went over the houses, it went over the hills, it covered the mountains. So it was done in such a way that nobody was going to survive. Henceforth, it's going to be that way. There ain't going to be you saw in that clip what it said, that they were only having food for the military and essential people. They don't care about the rest of the people. Go ask the people in Gary, Indiana, what's taking place right now. In fact, let's go into the book of Lamentation 4 and 9, because it's hard for you people to really believe, okay, there's going to be a famine. And we like to bring up the famine, especially here, because you have a nation that's filled with morbidly obese people. They can't stop eating. But nobody stops from eating. Okay? And we all been guilty of it. Okay, I'm going to eat in a couple hours, Lord willing. Okay, but hey, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go into Lamentations 4:9. It reads, "They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away stricken true want of the fruits of the field." Man, imagine you looking at a stone and you trying to think, man, I wonder if I eat that rock, if that's going to taste good. I mean, hunger can make you mad or drive you mad. And when I say mad, I don't mean angry. I mean mad, like insane. Okay, it is going to be a pain that nobody here in Great Babylon, America, have ever experienced. And people don't understand exactly how that can work. A wealthy nation, okay, like America. But keep in mind, store shelves don't produce food. Okay, they display, okay, with functioning farms, factories, and transportation networks and workers of supply. Now, what happens when all of those are, not there? Okay, think about it. When people start rioting and going crazy, if they have the lights out and there's no power, whatever the case like that, okay, they're using the sword, which is the modern day gun or whatever it is. Okay, you can have people destroy whatever type of infrastructure is there to have the continuity, okay, and supply chain, okay, continuous here in Great Babylon, America. And why is this happening? Okay, we can go into Ecclesiastes 14, and verse 5, it reads, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There's none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness." I mean, how many promises you have to get from the so-called white man, okay, here in Great Babylon, America, okay? And it ain't just one sitting president. It's just all these presidents that have sat, okay? And you have the governors of the states and all that stuff too. Taxes constantly being raised like that. It's so much hook and crook going on that nobody knows who's straight. You can't trust anything, and you shouldn't. The only person you need to trust right now is Yahweh Shai. You can't trust yourself even nowadays, okay? Because everybody can be compromised now on this earth. That's how wickedness have spread across this globe, all right? But we're under the rulership, okay, of a set of people, okay, that clashes with each other, that basically, they're extremely selfish and self-centered, okay? And they are the leading tribe on this earth. And they're known as Edomites in the scriptures, but on this earth, they're called white people. All right. So I make it very clear to you. They're called white people. Very proud, demonic, evil to themselves. They're going to be bickering and fighting. In fact, let's go into Isaiah 19. Okay. Because we already see the Lord, the Spirit of the Lord is on this place right now. Okay. You have a cruel rulership that's here. Okay. And, you know, people are confused. Like, what the hell is going on? How is things the way it is right now? Well, we bring it up in the scripture. Just like Noah told you about a flood, starting with the elders and apostles and their teachers before them, was talking about what? It's always talking about judgment. It's always talking about the judgment that's going to be here in Great Babylon, America. Okay? A failing system, okay, which is going to lead to what? Rioting and people killing each other and a shortage of food and stuff like that. Ain't nobody can behave themselves. You get people right now throw their garbage right outside on their lawn or on the street, litter the street. Okay? One of those things that's going to be, one of the judgments of this place is going to be pestilence, diseases. People are naturally filthy and nasty. They have no type of integrity. You know, if nobody's looking or constantly looking, people don't do the right thing. It's just natural for people here in Great Babylon, America, to not do the right thing. Okay? This is Isaiah 19, verse 3 reads, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." Now, keep in mind, this is what came out, what preceded this. Okay? The Lord says he's going to have the Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's why you have such a division here in Great Babylon, America. Okay? You have such a division. They're not working together in cahoots. It's whoever has the upper hand right now. So they have the midterms coming up. I don't know anything about politics or whatever case like that. I could care less who wins it. At the end of the day, Great Babylon, America is going to be destroyed. So it don't make any difference in me. Okay? But you can see right now people, because they don't know who Yahweh Shai is, they're looking, going, what happened with the best days or the glory days or something like that. That's why they came up with this slogan, "Make America Great Again," or MAGA, or whatever case like that. Whatever the hell this cracker can come up with, he's going to come up with it so that he can put your mind at ease to believe that they can fix it. They can't. All right? And we're here as the prophets to tell you that they can. Just like how with Noah was given instruction to build the ark and specific instruction how to build it. Okay? And what is going to be saved in that ark. Okay? Which is his family and select creatures on the earth. Okay? A male and a female, so they can reproduce. Just like in this time, we're building the house of David, okay? Okay, and what? We're looking to save our family, okay, or those who the Lord is going to show mercy on like that. And bottom line is, this is a particular way we have to go about and do this, okay? There's laws we have to keep to the best of our ability, even though we are behind enemy lines, okay? So there's a particular walk that we have to do in this ministry, okay, in order to be saved. It says, "And the Egyptians will I give over to the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemel Shai." Who's our cruel Lord? It's very obvious. Turn the TV on, any newspaper, any news clipping, and you can see who the hell he is. Okay, I don't have to call any doggone name, but right now you people are catching hell. So when we talk about, and we warn our people, because really our mission is to warn our people first. But we preach this gospel to the whole world. So when we say, okay, Eve, you're going to catch hell. Oh, that goes to you doggone Asian women and you white women and all you other women out there too. You're going to catch hell too. This ain't only just apply to our women. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai already said, you nations are a spit to him. You're nothing. He just created you because he can. So imagine if he's judging us the way he's judging us, what he's going to do to y'all. Do you think he's going to add any protection for y'all? Absolutely not. He's not going to kill all of you. But you're not going to have any protection like the righteous elect. Let's go to 2 Ezra 6, verse 22. And this should frighten a whole lot of you people. And if you're not, it's because you're a damn demon, okay? It reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full store houses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound which every man hear it. They shall suddenly be afraid." Why are they going to be afraid? Like, oh, there's a shortage of food. Now, in that opening clip, did you see that part where they said there's only going to be X amount of I think it was liquid or medicine for certain people? You see how everybody just started rushing and crushing each other and started going crazy? Yeah, that's exactly how it's going to be. Because when they tell you, oh, this is the last batch of chicken, ain't no more truck coming around, you think people are going to be sitting around going, oh, hell no. All right? Everybody's going to become Rambo. Everybody's going to become a thief, okay? It says, at that time, friends shall fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still. In 3 hours they shall not run. Why? Because I'm going to read in the end, okay, who's going to eat and who's not going to eat, okay? But friends are going to be fighting each other, man. It's going to be crazy. And you see it. I showed you those clips here, the blackouts that happened in New York and a couple of places around here. I showed you those are real footage. Show you how people started to go crazy. And I showed you, parts of movies and, where they try to make things to try to show you, kind of like how it would look. But role play and reality is completely, totally different. Believe me, you have to practice tests and it's like, okay, but then a real test come. All right. It's different because every mistake you make right now, you're either going to, I don't know if any of you have taken any type of test on the computer system, but I have, boy, and it's like that, if that screen turns red, that means you fail. If it turns green, you just sit down there, your heart thumping. You just pay a couple $100 to take this doggone certification test. And then the screen comes back green, you're happy. When it comes back red, it's like, oh, crap. Man, I could eat all kinds of food with that money. And, you start, trying to comfort yourself, basically. Okay, let's go to Ezekiel 14, start verse 20. Listen to this. It says, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, said the Lord Power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter. They shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. See that? Okay, this ain't no group thing. You could be in a camp, or the best camp, or whatever the case is like that, the best, elder, whatever the case like that. This is an individual. At the end of the day, we are being judged individually, and each of us is going to walk that road individually. This ain't going to be like, let me hold your hand through it. Okay, that's going to be test time. Okay, it says, for thus said the Lord Power, how much more when I send my forward sword judgment upon Jerusalem, the sword, the famine, and the noisome beast, and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast. So, Noah was telling you about the flood. We're telling you about what? Creatures out there are going to be eating you at some point in time. Your nasty ways and your habits are going to catch up with you into the pestilence. And whatever this man sprays up in the air or whatever the case is, he's injecting into you. Okay. The sword, people are going to be killing each other. Look at Gary, Indiana right now. You see people robbing each other right now. Nobody's working together. And the famine. And this place is still operational. This place is still operational. But this is what's coming to this place. In fact, if you don't believe it, and what did that lady say inside New York? She said she was looking out the window. She saw people looting and going crazy within a very short period of time. Literally, okay, you saw in that clip, it said that the poor, within 3 days, they just started going crazy. And who's the poor? So-called blacks and Americans, Latinos, and Hispanics. Okay, so the area, the barrios and the ghettos and the poor towns where Jake typically live is going to be impacted first. Okay, and where people are going to be turning on each other. And those friends, okay, are going to be people, your tribesmen, your tribeswomen, okay? Okay, whether you know them very close or not, okay, you're going to be clashing. You're not going to be working together for the minimum resources. And believe me, well, okay, when I say this, each of them is going to make sure they have the military forces out there to have your little town, your little ghetto, your little barrio surrounded so that nobody escape out of there because they don't want you in Beverly Hills. You're not going to get into Beverly Hills, okay? You're not going to get there. Okay, they can have their private security dealing with that. But let's close over the book of Isaiah 65 and start verse 12. Okay, and if you don't repent, what did the Lord Yahweh Shemashai say he's going to do? He says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called, you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did not choose that wherein I delighted not. Okay, so Noah was laughed at because they couldn't believe water was going to come and drown them all and kill them. And Noah had never seen it himself too, so he had to have strong faith and belief because he was working on that ark, him and his sons, for a long period of time. His wives and their wives, his wife and their wives also worked too. They were gathering food and all that stuff. Because keep in mind that water, what it says in the scripture, it says 150 days. The earth was still flooded. So they need to have a supply of food. 150 days is how many months? 5 or 6 months? They needed 6 months supply of food. And we know how he sent out the dove, and the dove flew out and came back with a twig, and then they come back and they knew they can come out of the ark and henceforth like that. Okay, but you can see here, the Lord is going to put you to the slaughter. It says, therefore, thus said the Lord Power, Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Why are you going to be ashamed? You didn't believe? Okay, you're going to be out there starving, hungry, fighting. You know, don't even know if you can live to see tomorrow, because, you know, somebody might even be looking to eat you. Yeah. And Edomites, so-called white people, they like to eat so-called black people. It's historical. They ate us during slavery. We were a delicacy. It's sick, but it's true. Okay, so shoot, you have to wonder. You got to wonder about that too. You know, it says, "Behold, my servants shall sing for joy," because we're gonna be like, "Yep, for this." Okay, as you look at your family, okay, that was in order that the Lord saved. Okay, and you're eating. We're seeing it happening as we speak right now. Okay, see, a lot of you people, you're kind of thinking, "Oh, it has to be apocalyptic and all that stuff." It's going to get there. It's going to get there. Okay. But right now, if you're catching hell like that and you're about to be kicked on the street, you can't have food and all that stuff, and they cut off all the food stamps right now. It's the big thing right now. Okay, it's Edom of fine and catching hell. Okay, and these Edomites too. Okay, but Edom is catching hell right now because they're going to go try to use their EBT card, and guess what's happening? Hackers are taking all that doggone shit off of their doggone card, so now they ain't got crap. They used to get $900 or $1,000 a month for food. You know, I don't need no man. Now they're going to check the EBT card. It's got like $15 on it. You think this man was joking when he tell you like you have to get your ass or then go work for 20 hours a week, which is 8 hours a month, in order for you to be qualified for a program. Hey, here's a thing about this daggone demon. And I went into what Ecclesiasticus 14. Okay, and start verse 7 reads, "And if he do it good, he do it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness." That's wicked, man. Okay, he's having the people who don't have any skill set, you need to go work 20 hours a week. However, he's created a situation by having a war with a doggone country that has nothing to do with anything. Okay, that's causing all the prices to go up, and all the jobs now, you know, are becoming vacant. Okay, or unavailable, as they say. AI is taking over. You see how wicked that is? You see how wicked that is? That's what we're talking about. And we warn you about that. We warn you about the RFID microchip that's going to be coming, because that's going to be the solution, okay, to the mayhem that's going on, right? That's going to about to take place and go to the next level. They're talking about blackouts, okay, which is going to create what? Pandemonium and all kinds of stuff. You people better be prepared. This ain't no damn game. So this has been, okay, from Noah to us. Okay, because Noah prophesied for something that was unbelievable, and so are we. Okay, the warnings continues. Well, like was that, Father, of course, we're going on to Yahweh, Bashim, Al Shai, Bashim, Rakakadash, Shalom.